and welcome to a simple YouArch tutorial. We will be covering how to access the menu, select schems, save schematics, load in schematics, unload them, and the different settings using the wand, which is any stick. You could just grab a stick. To get started, let's use this build. So once you have your stick, you're going to notice there's something in your lower left hand corner. That's a selection menu. There are 9 modes, but we only need to worry about mode 1 and 2. So area selection is going to work a lot like world edit. You can select one corner and then go up to the other block that you have if you have it up there and select it, and that will encompass the whole build in this schematic, like box. Unlike world edit, it does not matter where you stand, and you can simply hit M to open the menu, go to area editor, don't worry about this selection name, hit save schematic, and then you can go in here and name it whatever you want. So if I did it tower, I could go in and then save schematic. I'll save it right into this menu. So say you have that done, you can then go to a different world, even in survival, grab a stick, and we can go load in this schematic so we can build it in survival. So you're going to want to go to mode number 2 in their lower left corner by holding control and then scrolling. Go to schematic placement, hit M, go to load schematics and find the one that you just made. And so in this case, I had the schematic, it's Glaive Mac Tower, and load it in. The schematics will always load in on the northwest corner. So in this case, it's down right there. We're facing west and north right there. Keep that in mind, but also you can move the schematic. There are a few ways to do this. You can go to that northwest corner and just click on the ground. Right there, you see moved placement origin. Or you can hold Alt, and while looking in the direction you want it to go, you can scroll forward or backwards by holding the Alt key in any direction, up, down, all of that, right? And that way you can place the schematic wherever you want without having to like click random blocks, you know. It is all loaded in now. You can see it could be a little annoying to build with all these blocks on top of each other like this, right? So we're going to turn it into single layer mode. To do that, you hit M, schematic placement, sorry, configuration menu, render layers, and render layers Y. It's going to render one layer at a time. The layer that you're on is dependent on the Y level. So in this case, we are at like -60. And that will layer the whole bottom layer for you. In survival, you could grab the block that you need, right? And start placing it exactly where you need it. If it's the wrong block, it's going to go red. And this allows you to build up layer by layer, and you can actually see the blocks versus a whole thing above it, which like, oh, if you're blocking up here, you have to go to the outside to see it. By default, to move layers up and down, it is going to be the page up and page down button. I like changing that by going into M, configuration menu, hotkeys, and you have to look down here to layer next and layer previous and change them to whatever keys you want. I have them just on the up arrow and down arrows. So say you have this thing and you're all done with it and you don't want this box anymore. You can simply hit M, hit loaded schematics, and unload it. And it'll be gone. You don't have to worry about that schematic being anywhere. If you want this to go away, there are two ways to do that. Go back to mode 1 and just right click and left click the same block. And that means this will just be the only outline. Or you can go hit M, configuration menu, visuals, and enable rendering false. That will turn off everything in YouArch. So even if you hold this stick, it's not going to be loading a menu, which is great if you don't want YouArch popping up every time you just hold a stick. To turn it back on, you hit M again, configuration, visuals, rendering true, and then that will come back, and anything else that you've rendered will come back.